Namaste everyone. Welcome to Prepare with Lakshmi. I have put up the introduction part of Sylvia Plath just as a revision. Lady Lazarus is a bitter dramatic monologue famous for the themes of death, suicide and oppression. It was published in 1965 in the collection Ariel, 2 years after her death by suicide. Summary of Lady Lazarus is, it features a speaker telling a peanut crunching crowd about her most recent suicide attempt. It was her third time. She claims that dying is an art and that she performs it very well. She wants to die and be reborn like a phoenix. The poem gives hints to multiple suicide attempts of the tormented speaker. It also highlights the role of power and oppression in one's life. The title of the poem is an allusion to Lazarus, whom Jesus raised from the dead. This is a poem of 28 stanzas, each with 3 short lines called tercets, 84 lines in total. Literary devices used in the poem are anaphora, simile, enjambment, hyperbole, metaphor, assonance, and imagery. Let us move on to the poem. I will be reciting the poem and then explaining it briefly. I have also highlighted some of the keywords for remembering the poem easily. I have done it again. 1 year in every 10 I manage it. Now the speaker begins the poem by saying she has done it again. Every 10 years she manages to do it. A sort of walking miracle. My skin bright as a Nazi lampshade. My right foot a paperweight. My face a featureless fine Jew linen. She considers herself a walking miracle, meaning she came back from dead with bright skin like Nazi lampshade. Her right foot is a paperweight and her face featureless and as fine as a Jew linen. All these are references to Holocaust because World War II was not forgotten yet as the poem was written in 1962. Nazis used to make lampshades, paperweights and Jew linens from the bodies of killed human beings. So she considers herself a Jew killed by a Nazi. Peel off the napkin, O my enemy. Do I terrify? She addresses an unspecified enemy, asking him to peel the napkin off her face and asking whether he is terrified by the features he sees there. The nose, the eye pits, the full set of teeth, the sour breath will vanish in a day. What are the features she is talking about? The nose, the eye pits and full set of teeth. Why eye pits instead of eyeballs? Maybe she is referring to corpse of herself, the dead body of herself. She assures him that her sour breath will vanish in a day. Soon the flesh the grave cave ate will be at home on me. Now what is she telling here? That soon, just as soon as the stale breath vanishes, we are guessing the flesh that was eaten by her grave will feel at home on her. Means will look appropriate on her. In coming close to dying, it's like her grave ate her flesh and she has already started to rot. And I am a smiling woman. I am only 30 and like the cat, I have 9 times to die. And that she will be a smiling 30-year-old woman. She is a cat and will be able to die 9 times. Instead of talking how many lives she has, she is talking about how many deaths. Meaning, when we say cat has 9 lives, we don't say cat has 9 deaths. This is number 3. What a trash to annihilate each decade. And she says this is only the 3rd death. She will die once each decade, and annihilation or annihilate means destruction. She is destroyed every 10 years and the life she had was trash. What a million filaments. The peanut crunching crowd shoves in to see them unwrap me hand and foot, the big striptease. Now the filament she is talking about may be filaments of hair, filaments of wire, or maybe she is talking about filaments of her body. Her body is shattered into millions of filaments. Now the speaker says she is in front of a peanut crunching crowd. Maybe she is in front of a circus or carnival, and where people are watching over her. People are paying to see her body unwrap. That is her big striptease. Gentlemen and ladies, these are my hands, my knees. I may be skin and bone. Nevertheless, I am the same identical woman. Now she addresses the audience directly. She says, gentlemen and ladies, and then she shows them her hand and her knees. And then she says, I am skin and bone, that is thin, and I am same as before, means before death and after coming to life, she is the same woman. The first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident. So the first time she died, she was 10 years old and it was an accident. The second time, I meant to last it out and not come back at all. Now what is she saying? The second time, she actually wanted to kill herself. She wanted to die and she doesn't want to come back alive. That means she attempted suicide. And then I rocked shut as a seashell. Now she is saying, what did she do to kill herself? She shut herself like a seashell. In real life, Sylvia Plath took sleeping pills and hid in the crawl space in her mother's house. But she was rescued. And so maybe she is saying to that experience, she might be talking about that experience of hiding in a crawl space as shutting herself as a seashell. They had to call and pick the worms off me like sticky pearls. Means to rescue, they had to call her again and again. And the sticky pearls she is talking about maybe the sleeping pills sleeping pills that were pumped from her. Dying is an art like everything else. I do it exceptionally well. The speaker goes on to say that dying is an art like everything else and she does it very, very, very well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I have a call. She goes on to explain why she does it. Because she wants to feel something real. That is why she wants to die. I guess you could say I have a call. Means she is drawn towards death. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's the theatrical comeback in broad day to the same place, the same face, the same brute. Amused shout, a miracle that knocks me out. She says it is easy to kill oneself in a cell, easy enough to do it and stay put. She says coming back to life is theatrical, meaning people want to gaze upon her pain like a circus act. A brute shouts she is a miracle and it knocks her out as if she is in a boxing match. There is a charge for the eyeing of my scars. There is a charge for the hearing of my heart. It really goes. And there is a charge, a very large charge for a word or a touch or a bit of blood or a piece of my hair or my clothes. Now she says there is a fee or a charge to see her scars or her pains. There is a charge for hearing of my heart, to hear her heart. There is a charge. And there is a charge, very large charge. There is a very large charge if you want to have a word with her, to touch her or if you want a bit of her blood or a piece of her hair or clothes as a souvenir. So, her doctor. So, her enemy. She calls her doctor an enemy. Her in Germany is Sir or Mr. She calls the doctor as her enemy. Now, German doctors did a lot of experiments on Jews. See, she considers herself a Jew and she hates Germans. They were cremated, gassed, and burned alive. The Jews were cremated, gassed, and burned alive. Also, Sylvia Plath has mental illness and she does, and the doctor is not one of her favorite people. So she says doctor is her enemy. There are two meanings over there. I am your opus, I am your valuable, the pure gold baby that melts to a shriek. I turn and burn. Do not think I underestimate your great concern. The speaker says she is an opus, a piece of literary or musical work, and she is valuable. She says she is a pure gold baby that melts to shriek. But our speaker is not pure gold, because when gold is melted, it doesn't shriek. Ash, ash, you poke and stir. Flesh, bone, there is nothing there. Now she considers herself a Jew who was cremated in a Nazi concentration camp. She says someone is poking and stirring her ash and there is no flesh or bone. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Now Nazis used to make soap out of the burned bodies, out of the ash. So maybe the Nazi who was poking through her ash is thinking of making soap out of her, or he was looking for a wedding ring or a gold filling. When bodies are burnt, you might find a wedding ring or a gold filling. Then her God, her Lucifer, beware, beware. Now she compares the doctor to both God as well as devil. Out of the ash I rise with my red hair and I eat men like air. She resurrects, comes, born again, and she comes out of the ash like a phoenix with red hair, and that she eats men like air, meaning she needs men for survival. Without men or air, she could not breathe and could not live. Thank you for bearing with me. I look forward to meeting you in my next poem of Sylvia.